All right, welcome back. This is the next video coming from Big Ideas on multiplying and dividing equations. We will talk about the vocabulary. What does inverse operation mean? And we will look at 4 examples on how to solve equations using multiplication and division. So, first slide. First 2 problems we're looking at is 2x equals 24 and 5y equals 45. The first question you should be asking yourself is, what type of equation is it? It's a multiplication equation because 2 times something gives you 24. Second question you should be asking yourself is, what's the opposite of multiplication? Division. Same thing here. Listen, I'm not worried about if you can guess what y is. What happens if it was like 16y equals 267? Exactly. So you must first ask yourself, what type of equation is it? Second, ask yourself, what's the inverse operation? Meaning, what's the opposite of multiplication? Division. We'll come back to those and we'll solve those. Next one, dividing equations. Looks a little different, right? A divided by 8 equals 5. We need to, first thing, what type of equation is it? It's a division equation. Second thing, what is the inverse operation? What's the opposite of division? Multiplication. Same thing over here. That one looks a little bit more interesting. 3 times something divided by 2 gets you to 9. So what type of equation is it? It's multiplication and division. And then the second type of question you should be asking, what's the inverse operation? All right, let's actually get to some of this and actually work some of this out. So, like I said, you should be asking yourself, what's the opposite of multiplication? I hope to God you said division. So we have to divide whatever number is attached to the variable. The vocabulary, this is the inverse operation. This is the opposite of multiplication. So this side cancels. And then all we have left on this side are x's left over. And then we need 24 divided by 2. Of course, it's 12. And then the check. 2 times 12 takes me to 24. That's where we ended up at. Over here, I hope you said the opposite of multiplication is division. We need to do this step. Remember, I hate only answers. That's not working for me. You must show your work. Writing the inverse operation is showing your work. And then on this side, we need what's 45 divided by 5. Clearly, it is 9. 5 times 9 takes you to 45. So you got the inverse operation and the check. Make sure you are doing both. Now, for the dividing equations. Now, you should be asking yourself, what type of equation is it? It's a division equation. So obviously, I need to be multiplying both sides. Well, the easiest way for me to do it is just multiply 8 times 5. What's 8 times 5? 8 times 5 is 40. So then if you plug 40 in, always do the check, of course. Always do the check. The check is 40 divided by 8. 40 divided by 8 is 5 because 5 times 8 is 40. Now on this side, it's a little bit different. First thing you need to be thinking about is what times 3 divided by 2 gets me to 9. You got to be thinking about it. What, 3 times 1? No, that's not going to work. 3 times 2, 6 divided by 9? No, that's not going to work. 3 times 3, 9 divided by 2? That's not going to work. So then it's going to take some thinking. 3 times 5, 15 divided by 2. That's not going to work. 6 times 3, 18. Okay, 18. So let's see if that works. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 divided by 2 is 9. So there's a couple of different things that you have to do in problems like that. Okay, so you got to do a little bit extra. This concludes the multiplying and dividing equations lesson.